Aries, this is Joe, and I have your singles, love, romance, and relationship reading for May 2020 from about the 11th or 12th till the 31st of May. And I'm going to tell you right now, this was a heavy reading. It is about loss. So if that's you, I want you to stick around and listen to this, okay? Because there's an important message. Watch till the end. If this fits with you, if it hits you, leave me a thumbs up. Let me know, okay? Leave me a comment. Let me know what's going on. Subscribe if you want to hear more. But Aries, this is for you. And with that, let's get to the reading. I've already done it. I just recorded it, so let's have a look. Okay, Aries. So let's see what's going on in your single life. What's the news? Definitely a weird time to be single. And, you know, all this social distancing and isolation. But we're going to see what's going on in your life regarding love, relationships, romance, past relationships, maybe future relationship. And we'll see what comes out in the cards. All right. Let's see. So, what's on your mind? You have the Knight of Pentacles. Slow moving. Taking it easy. Oh. What is on your heart? What are you feeling? The Magician. Alright, and then we have the Five of Pentacles for your fears, your worries, what concerns you. Okay, for your past, Nine of Wands. I think you've been single a while. Building a wall, being guarded, protecting yourself. This could be being single a while, or you know, this could also be just about a relationship that was kind of empty. And I don't know. We're gonna see though. We're gonna see what's going on in your near future. Oh, well, we got a couple cards here, so we're gonna take these. Four of Cups, some dissatisfaction, and Ten of Swords. Alright, so that's definitely interesting, Aries. So I'm going to take those two cards because they both came out. And one came out from the middle and one came out from the top. Alright, so what do we have for Aries here? We have... well, let's start with, what are you thinking about? You're thinking about moving forward. I feel like this is a solo venture that you have decided maybe it's time to, you know, just move forward on your own, to not focus on love, relationships, and for whatever reason, I think that this is something that you have probably have been through something hard enough to maybe make you just want to just be alone, in the sense of not alone and separated from people, but alone in the sense that you don't need somebody to make you feel complete. But you're feeling like the Magician and this is really you feeling like you are the master of your domain, and you know, you have everything you need at your disposal. You have everything that you could want to kind of create the outcome that you are hoping for or wanting. But let's see, before we get too much into this, I'm going to pull some cards and clarify these. Three of Swords. So the Knight of Pentacles. So what's on your mind is that wanting just to move forward solo. And I think for you, this is probably much needed. This is a much needed hiatus from a probably long-term situation that caused you a lot of grief And I think this is probably something that you might be in danger of carrying with you for the long term. And I think you know that, because something to me feels really painful, has a lot of sorrow and sadness, and it just is something that is going to take a lot of healing, a lot of inner work to let go of some things from the past. Now, the Nine of Wands, and I did say that it felt like you're building a wall, but this, looking at these, and I always go intuitively, and so if this is only for one person, it doesn't matter. I would much rather the message be true to one person than just vague to a bunch of people. So the Nine of Wands, I'm almost feeling like there's this separation between you and a past loved one, somebody you're in a relationship with. And this Nine of Wands makes me feel like this is somebody that's either passed on, and there's a lot of anxiety and a lot of grieving that has to be done to really come to a place of wholeness, to come to a place of kind of, resolution. But the funny thing about grief is, there's really never a true resolution. It ultimately comes down eventually to an acceptance. And that acceptance is what, once that comes along, is what eventually allows that healing and wholeness to go forward. So I think this Knight of Pentacles represents a journey that you are on to find yourself. And I think the Nine of Wands represents the heartbreak, the heartache of, one second here. I'm very sorry about that. I did not turn that off. The Nine of Wands represents the heartbreak and the separation that has occurred in the recent past. And now for some of you too, and this might be for somebody else, but this might represent like an incarceration of somebody you were involved with, or something similar to that. But I really feel like this is for somebody that has a past loved one, somebody you were romantically involved with, and this just creates a real void, and it triggers a need for healing. And I really do feel that that's what this is about in this Aries, and it does feel very heavy. I don't like these heavy kind of readings, but on the same note here, they also help to bring out messages that are needed and in a time of, sorrow, sadness, despair. And if that's what you're going through, there is hope. I know there's hope. I lost a child, and it took me many years back in 2005 to get to the point of acceptance. But it is a journey. It is a new normal, and it is finding yourself again. So with that said, let's see what this, Nine of Swords. So we have the Nine of Wands and the Nine of Swords. So this, and then the Ten of Swords. So this is very heavy in your mind and your psyche. This is very heavy. A lot of this is about thought and rethinking events, the what ifs, not just the what ifs, but also really the why of everything. And those are the answers that we can never really get. And I'm really sorry that this is like so heavy, but it is what it is. It's just how these things come out. We're gonna see what we have. The Magician. We have the World. So the Magician is telling you to do the work, to keep creating, because there is essentially a place for you in this world. There is essentially a purpose and a meaning, if you allow it, when this kind of comes to completion. And the world is about freedom, setting yourself free, allowing the flow of the ebb and flow of life to come in and let it take its course. Let it direct you and guide you to the place that the divine, the universe, God, source, whatever it is that you are looking to. This is allowing that to take you to that place to where you can ultimately set yourself free once the work is done. And the work is not physical work. This is work that is the hardest kind of work you'll ever do. This is the kind of work that is emotionally and mentally draining, but working through it and not numbing it, working through it and not bearing it, working through it and not trying to forget about it is ultimately what needs to be done. So this is saying keep doing that thing that you're doing, really focusing on, I need to get through this, I need to move forward. The Knight of Pentacles, this is the direction I'm going forward. But in that, there are a lot of pitfalls and traps that are easy to fall into. So in the near future, you have the Four of Cups, and then we had the Ten of Swords come out. And so the Ten of Swords and the Four of Cups together, this is about the thought and the feeling combined into one. It's very intense, and it needs to be dealt with. It needs to be felt, and it needs to be thought about for a time. Because the mind, the brain, needs to process these things. It has an innate desire to make sense of things that you really can't make sense of. And at some point along the way, there is this just epiphany of acceptance. But each person has that point at which they are willing to accept the circumstances for what they are. And so, this is a journey you're on. This is about healing, and this is about not looking to anything or anyone to make you whole, to bring you healing. This is about your connection with spirit and really letting that guide you and direct you on your journey through this. Now, I'm going to pull a couple more cards here because, this is supposed to be a singles love reading, but, I'm not the director, and I don't write the script. And these are just the way the cards come out. This card wanted to come out right here, and we're going to do this in the near future. And see, we have the Five of Pentacles again. We have two repeaters in here. So this is very much a heavy energy, but I want to give the message here of hope, because this is only a tool. This is only a tool in which it can help you, but it can also limit you. It can also limit you if you confine yourself to the if you confine yourself really to the beliefs, self-limiting beliefs. This is only a tool to the extent that you realize you have sovereignty and you have choice in how you deal with things. So what this is really just saying is, on the current trajectory and the current path that you're on, this is going to be a bit of a long road. It's going to be a little bit tough. And there really isn't a detour here. This really, and I'm going to say intuitively and just almost psychically in a sense, what I get is we have the Five of Pentacles 2 times. And to me, that is really speaking to the 5 stages of grief. And, if this is you, if this is meant for you, read up on that, look at it, because that will strike you in a place where, the 5 stages of grief: bargaining, acceptance, anger, depression, and it goes, there's really just 5 pivotal stages. And I don't want to get into this because this is not what this is about, but this is saying to you to allow yourself to transition those 5 stages. Allow yourself however much time you need, not to rush the process, to allow yourself to think and feel, but to know right here at the heart of things, you have the Magician, and you have the world, and they are right there with you. They have your back. The Creator, God Almighty, has your back in this and is going to guide you and direct you in every step of the way. So let's see what the outcome is with the Five of Pentacles. I almost feel like I see a clock and the hands are just kind of progressing at ticks, and eventually you get to the point where you get out of that almost 5 o'clock energy, that grieving and that sorrow, and something brings you to the world, because your belief, the magician, is you. And it brings you to that new world, new possibilities, limitless possibilities. Oh, here we go. King of Wands. So after this time, you have an epiphany that there's only one direction, and that's in front of you. And the King of Wands knows how to take action. The King of Wands knows what path he's going on. And this is really about you taking those steps, one foot in front of the other, and deciding to acknowledge what has happened, but to know that your path continues, and to do this in a way that is with a renewed passion about your life, the purpose, the meaning. And that's what's coming toward you when this is all said and done. And this is some time out, and the 5 comes out 2 times, and the 5 really speaks to me, and I feel like there's a time frame of maybe 5 months before you really have it all together enough to shed some of that which you're wearing on your sleeve. Let's see what else we get for the King of Wands and the 5 of Pentacles, please, for Aries. May 2020. Singles. Last card, and then we're going to pull another card. Knight of Pentacles. So this, like I said, you have a lot of repeaters in here, so pay attention. Knight of Pentacles, keep moving forward. 5 of Pentacles, acknowledge the cycle that you're going through. You have the 9 of Swords, and you also have the 10 of Swords. Those, and you have the 9 of Swords here. So pay attention to those numbers. They might mean something to you. 9 repeating twice, 5 repeating twice, and then of course, you have the Knight of Wands, the King of Wands, and the Knight of Pentacles, the King of Wands, and the Knight of Pentacles again. This is calling you to keep moving forward. It's calling you to not give up, to not lose hope, to have faith, and to keep going, because out of this is a new you. This is a new you, but I really do feel like this is a matter of months before you're fully to the point where you can just move forward and allow yourself to breathe and not feel so heavy. And that's okay. That's okay. You have the Star on the bottom of the deck, okay? This is about faith. This is about believing. And you have the Magician. So faith and the Magician is an excellent combination. This is about belief. This is about your belief, about your purpose, about your life path. And no matter how heavy that pain is, there is still forward movement. The Knight of Pentacles is saying you are going forward. It's saying this 2 times. Even though the grief, the 5 of Pentacles is there 2 times, it's saying the Knight of Pentacles is moving forward in spite of all this. You are moving forward. There is the world. There is the Star. Hold on to your faith. Keep going and don't give up. We're going to pull one of these and see where you're at, Aries. That's the one. Higher power. Okay. that doesn't really need an explanation. That is the Creator, the Divine, speaking to you right now to remember your connection there, because that is where the Magician, that is where the Star, and that's where the world comes from in this. So Aries, if this resonates with you, if it strikes a chord with you, please do me a favor, give me a thumbs up. Let me know you like this video. Leave me a comment. Subscribe if you want to hear more. And I'm going to end this with, saying stay safe, stay healthy, and keep moving forward. And until then, I'll talk to you again.